What is the purpose of the street name changes? And how do name changes benefit the poor? Why did black people not participate in large numbers in the processes to name changes? Should white people forget about Afrikaner colonial leaders? What time is it? It's question time. Welcome to the show. My name is Mpho Tsedu. A High Court interdict preventing the City of Tshwane from renaming certain streets was set aside by the Constitutional Court last week. This followed a 4-year legal battle between Afriforum and the City of Tshwane. This after outgoing Mayor Kgosientso Ramokgopa announced in 2013 that the old street names would be removed. The Supreme Court of Appeal dismissed the city's leave to appeal the High Court ruling in favor of Afriforum in 2015. This resulted in the city's appeal to the Constitutional Court, culminating in the recent landmark verdict in favor of the City of Tshwane. We are live, and therefore you can call us and air your views. The numbers to dial 089-110-4210 and our Twitter handle at question time 24. My guest today, Werner Human is the legal representative for Afriforum, and joining us from our Tshwane studios is Councillor Subesh Pillay, who is a member of the Mayoral Committee for Economic Development and Planning at the City of Tshwane. Gentlemen, let me welcome you. MMC, let me start with you. You've been pursuing this thing for quite a while, and I mean, if you had some of the questions really that we were asking here on question time is, how does this benefit the poorest of the poor?
Well, Mpho, you know, we've always said this decision is about restoring the dignity of our people. And I don't think, and as we've always maintained, that you can put a price on the dignity of our people. And that's why we stood firm in our conviction that we will see this matter to the end, and that end we had always anticipated to have been the Constitutional Court. And I think we're quite happy that the court has in fact vindicated us and confirmed both that the correctness of our approach, and I think the court also ventured into making a statement about how transformation of our country and all its institutions, including its public infrastructure, street names and so forth, must represent the completeness of our political history and heritage. And I think we're quite glad with how the courts have now pronounced, the Constitutional Court, of course, being the highest court in the land.
But Afriforum is saying this is not the end, so somehow you have not seen the end of this.
No, indeed. Remember that what triggered was the initial application that sought to review the decision of council to rename the 25 names. That matter was set down. It was the application for the matter to be heard as an urgent matter was not upheld. So the matter went to the normal court roll. In the nature of the court process, I think that's set down for a later time. Now, in the intervening period, we had begun to change the street names. We had agreed initially that we will retain the dual names for a period of time. And after a 6 months period, which we thought was reasonable to transition from the old names into the new names, we then proceeded to remove the old names. At that point, Afriforum sought the interdict, prohibiting us from removing the old names. And then the subsequent High Court, the SCA, and now the Constitutional Court. So what the Constitutional Court now has ruled on is only the matter of the interdict insofar as it relates to the removal of the old names. The matter of the review application is still before the courts.
Okay.
Without interpreting too much into the judgment that was delivered by the Judge President, he ventures into some merit on the review application. And I think Afriforum might be wise if they review their review action, because I don't think the probability of success is very high at this stage.
Okay, what problem have you got with Hunt Stradom Drive being called Solomon Mahlangu Drive?
The broad issue of changing of street names, Afriforum has no problem with. And as a matter of fact, Afriforum supports street names in the sense that recognition is given to a broad spectrum and diversity of cultures, language, etc. The reason why the 25 names was mentioned in the court papers, and it's a 25 names that's a subject issue to be set aside, is because it was one decision involving 25 names. To put it differently, what was not before court is the merits of the 25 names versus the demerits of the old names. So the position is this: the review application is simply on legal grounds, but Afriforum has proven in the past and still does that we would like to engage with the city on this. We are most flexible with pertaining to the changing of the
What are you querying then?
Our central issue, there's quite a few review grounds, and I must say SABC has done a good job in explaining the history of the matter. He's quite correct in putting it in perspective, this application versus the review action still. But I can concisely put it as follows. The main point I would like to say is, pertaining to our legal grounds, is to a due public participation process. The city has said this is not a major point, but this is for legal argument. Our central point is this: when communities are involved and affected, living in the streets, this should entail that they are properly consulted. And we say the debate about which name should go on, which name should go off, is actually most proper in a forum where there is a community involved.
Are you saying the city did not consult?
Properly, correctly. The policy states, for example, that each ward committee be consulted, and it's about 10 out of the 76 ward committees that was consulted, that they what they call public-wide, I think Sabish will get the correct.
Okay, let's find out from him. Why did you not consult?
Well, it's not factual that we didn't consult. In the first instance, I must make the point that prior to this process, we had amended the policy for naming of streets, and then proceeded to undertake the public participation process. I think the core of Afriforum's objection is the fact that in the original policy, it stated that if you were to change the name of Pretoria Street, for example,
yes,
you only need to consult the people who live in Pretoria Street. Now we know these 25 street names are not local streets. They are main arterials in the city, and they represent a broader audience in the city. And that's why our public participation process was not confined to a specific street. We thought it appropriate that because we are naming major streets in the city center, we must engage a broader audience, the entirety of the population or representative of the population of the city. Okay. And that's why we conducted the public. And we're quite confident that we not only fulfill the requirement of public participation as provided for in the policy, but we went further to engage other stakeholders, for that matter, including Afriforum. And it was as a result of that engagement with Afriforum that we had resolved to retain the names of Paul Kruger and Pretoria Street from the original 27. Okay. And that's why we only changed finally the 25.
All right, let me take Dougie. Dougie, you are in the Val.
Yes, how are you?
I'm well. Thanks for the call, Dougie.
That's good. Listen, I need to say something here.
Go ahead.
I need to really put my penny's worth.
Go ahead, Dougie.
You know what? I don't even think the majority of the people in our country, the 55 million, know where the names that they've now given to the places where they are. I tell you the truth today. It is only a few people that have made these decisions to change the names, because the majority of our population, I'm promising you, don't know. When you say Pretoria, they'll know. When you say Tshwane, they'll ask you, where is that? Like that other place, Mbombela. Where's Mbombela?
Mbombela is in Mpumalanga, Dougie.
Mpumalanga. Now, Mpumalanga, where's that?
Mpumalanga, Douglas.
No, but where's it? It used to be called the Eastern Transvaal. Yeah, and most of the people know it as the Eastern Transvaal, or they know it as Nelspruit, or as Sabi or as whatever. So this thing with the name changes, it's almost nonsense because it has taken money from us, the taxpayers.
Okay, so you're saying the name shouldn't be changed?
If you watch the French Revolution, it's the same thing that's happening to our country now.
Dagi.
It's only a few people on top that is benefiting and nobody else.
Okay, Dagi?
Yeah, is that you standing on the pole?
Okay, no, I'm saying to you, are you saying that names should not be changed?
I'm saying the name should have never been changed.
Okay.
Never, ever. Because
Why?
everybody, the whole country, knows the names like they were.
But Dagi,
We don't know the new names.
Each and every place that has a name, people have gotten used to it. We used to call people by certain names until they changed them. And today nobody remembers that Mbazima Shilowa is actually Sam.
Is Sam who?
Shilowa.
Eh? No, I don't know that.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay though, Dagi. Thank you very much for the call.
But what I'm saying, hear my argument.
Oh, okay.
Hear my
Dagi,
argument.
let's allow other participants to
on top that are making those changes.
Okay, let's get this from Afriforum. You are not necessarily opposed to the name changes. You are opposed to the processes that were followed. Special saying they followed what they considered to be an even better approach than what is required.
Let me maybe clarify that point pertaining to the namers. It's our position is not merely process. When we try and I won't say confuse, but talk about two separate issues: the name changes on the one side, process on the other. When we are in the domain of name changes, we are open to engage pertaining to the names in discussions. The councillor has described there were engagements. I can show you where which actually in the court papers recorded as well. We were actually in the middle of an engagement. There was promise that there would be further engagements, and it just broke off in the middle. So pertaining to the names, we are flexible. We want to meet. We believe there can be found common ground, and there can be separate euros which can be acceptable to all of us.
Okay, hold it there. Let's take Pax. Pakamani, you are in KZN.
How are you, sir?
I'm well. Thanks for the call, Pax.
I'm very worried because there are people who are coming to the platform and argue that we need not to change the names. When we were oppressed, when they oppressed us, they were busy changing naming to the streets and towns. We were quiet. They oppressed us, then they were busy naming things, naming towns, naming streets. But now they want us to argue with them. Well, how can we argue with them? Because they never argue with us when they oppress us and busy changing everything, naming things according to their fathers. And I'm very happy because the ANC now is starting to wake up. Thank you, ESF, because they are making ESF wake up. Now they see the reality. The Pretoria must change to Tshwane. Anything that represents apartheid regime must come down. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pax. What do you say to that?
I think what he basically said is that everything must change because of a oppressive past which we do not deny. We believe from the framework of our constitution, which was quoted by both the dissenting judgment and the majority judgment, is that we are a diverse country. We are also involved in matters of university, where we also emphasize the position of diversity and recognition of other cultures. I think that's the spirit of the constitution, and that's a framework which we gladly accept and think we can do it together.
Okay. Hold it there. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll be taking your calls, and you can call us. The numbers to dial 089-110-4210, 089-110-4210. Our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. We shall return.
Mr. President, thank you for choosing the moon.
Oh, this view is magnificent. This has to be the proudest day of our lives.
Not hungry, huh?
Is he eating?
Nope.
Okay, Commander. Come with me.
Roger. 5 or 10-second countdown. Eagle looking great. Your go. Roger. Looks great, Houston.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. You have liftoff.
Welcome back. You are still watching Question Time. We're talking name changes in Pretoria. Wena Human is the legal representative for Afriforum, and Subesh Pillay is a member. He's an MMC at the City of Tshwane there. But we've got, is it Tabo in Mbombela?
Yes.
Okay. Where is Mbombela? In Mpumalanga?
It's in Mpumalanga, yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's where we are. Thanks very much for the opportunity. But my point here is directed to the MMC.
Yes.
What I would like to ask the MMC is that I think it would be more acceptable or more understandable if they let the public know the previous names before the apartheid government changed the name from the original name. Not really that they should change every name, everything that associated with apartheid, but at least they should change those names were changed from these original names. Like, for instance, I might put this Mbombela name. Originally, it was Mbombela, and then it was changed to Nelspruit. Then it would go back to the original name. But not really that they must change every name. I think that it will be very acceptable to the public. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Subesh?
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I was making the point earlier that we had initially gone in with 27. We decided we were going to retain Paul Kruger and Pretorius, so we finally changed 5. But remember, even these 25, I'm sure there are hardly 5% of the total street names in the city. And although we are going to continue the process of transforming, we certainly have no interest in using this process to be divisive. And so certainly we had said up front that this process must help us build, not divide and polarize societies. I can tell the rep from Afriforum there, for example, that in the period since they took us to court, we have deposited well over 200 Afrikaans names into the names bank, along with other South African names, so that as we continue to transform, we do so in the completeness of what our history represents. Okay. And that's why I'm saying we find it very unpalatable that they continue to draw the Afrikaner community into a lager. And we think that the Afrikaner community is very much part of the South African DNA and certainly the DNA of the City of Tshwane.
Okay. Jacob Perengetos Ngangata.
Hello, Paul.
Hi.
How are you, sir?
I'm well. Thanks for the call.
That's good. Paul, I just want, come again?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say, I don't see any reason of changing the names of Pretoria, because I think that should remain as a history for us to know. I just think why the government can't build the proper roads in the villages and give the names of those who want to put them as a name, street names in that beautiful road that they will be building.
But are you saying these heroes only deserve roads in villages?
In villages. That's where we belong, and then we want to see their names there.
Wow. Okay. Well, are you happy to drive on Steve Biko Road?
I'm happy to drive on any road, to be honest. And if the name changes are done in the spirit to promote multi-diversity, multilingualism, and you will pass
You know what? I'm sorry to interject. I'm failing to understand what exactly do you want? What is wrong with the name with Solomon Mahlangu Drive? What is wrong with Charlotte Maxeke Street? How diversified do you want the streets to be?
The attack is never on a specific presented name, to say this name we are against for whatever
Yeah, but
reason.
that can be a technicality.
Not actually. If you present the example to say, you look at this Steve Biko and you say you can't be associated with it, what's wrong driving in there, then it is a specific case. And what we say, our position is not, we are looking at one name and say we are not associating with it, we are not happy with the name. We are saying that in this instance there's about 50 names now if you took the 25 and 25 together, and we said when there's proper discussions or debate being taken place, we can go through the names, and there might be certain names on the city side which they say we will gladly keep the old name, and this one we would say we are glad to keep the new name there. We think there's room for that. We've said it repeatedly.
Okay. Mogolo, I don't know, is it Mogolo or Bogolo in Bela Bela?
It's Mogolo Baneng in Bela Bela.
Oh, Untwarelent.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yes.
Yes, I think today's topic is a very interesting topic, and temperature seems to rise always when this kind of topic is brought up.
Yes.
But I believe in the spirit of reconciliation, what we as the South African majority government are preaching, it's very much better that we embrace these white people who came with those apartheid regime street names. We are not erasing their African whatever history, but I think the way we go about it, we might have been excluding them in the recipe. So that is why we have this kind of reaction from Afriforum. But inclusivity, as much as someone has got to be the better person, that's all I'm trying to say. And I think we must be the better people.
Okay, thanks. Smith, are you satisfied that you really, the decisions that you have taken as the city reflect the will of the people of Tshwane?
No, we're absolutely satisfied, and I want to make the point that over the period of the last 3 years, I mean, the residents of our city have come to accept these names. I mean, just from a personal experience, I went to a hardware, an old Afrikaner gentleman was giving me directions to their other branch, and he was telling me to drive down Solomon Mahlangu Drive, confidently, happily using the correct name, and that's why we say that. We remain convinced that our approach has assisted to build, to represent the completeness of our history, and we will continue in that path, including with Afriforum. Because I frankly don't understand what the issue is. Mr. Human there says that he wants to see diversity. I want to challenge him. What is not diverse about the names? Because included even in the 25, there's the name of a prominent Afrikaner academic in the form of Professor Johan Haynes. Sorry, not an academic, a religious theologian. Yes. So even in the 25 names, we even found it appropriate to carry the name of somebody with a rich Afrikaner history. What more diversity? What more concessions do they want of us, other than to request of us to absorb our responsibility and hand over to them to make, because that appears to be what he's saying. Come and talk to us and let's decide what names can remain and what names must go.
Okay.
I would say, Sabish, if you made that invitation in April 2013, we would have grabbed it, and I'm sure when we put those names together, we would have agreed on names and we wouldn't have had any necessary for a court application.
Okay. Well, let's hope that we will find common ground and this matter will be put to rest. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us on Question Time today. That was the show for today. A big thank you to my guests and to you for watching the show. Let's meet again next time. From me and the crew, you have yourself a wonderful time. Goodbye.